This is episode 11 of Lucy Show, right? Turn the music down! Oh, you're too loud. Hurt my ears. Oh, hey, let me ask you a question there, Ron. Okay, go ahead. What's green? What's green? It smells like bacon. It smells like bacon. Bacon! Bacon! Oh, what smells like bacon? What's green and smells like bacon? No idea. Kermit the Frog's finger. Making sure we were recording.
All right. Have a little fun there right at the beginning. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Again, except for a couple people. Hope you're having a really crappy day.
Crappy. Say it again. Crappy.
Anyway, so we got a couple things we're going to talk about today, and we have we got some more stuff from Pakistan from the Universal Yellow thing. So we got some additional things to try.
I think what happened last time is they sent us a sample box before they sent the real box. Because we got that one box from Pakistan that we showed, but I don't know if y'all remember everything, but we said it was a real small box.
Yeah.
And not normally the size we would get. And then just last week I got another box, and what the fuck is this box in the mail? So I opened it up just to see what it was, because I wasn't expecting it. And it was the bigger size of the Pakistan. I'm like, well, all right.
Well, hey, that means we might get another one in a couple of weeks, right?
I think that was just I don't know. I think it was a thank you for ordering. I don't know.
So last night Rachel sent me the TikTok, and I'm thinking about getting us some to try. It's really, really sour candy.
I don't like sour.
But this was just freaking hilarious. Rachel, if you can put a
Description
and then put a little video, possibly, if you can.
Three, go.
Two, three.
Bismillah.
Two, three. One.
I'll take the sour bar.
or the fermented seal flipper.
What?
Evidently it's an Alaskan delicacy, like the native Alaskans.
Well, they can keep it.
But they take seal fins and bury them in the ground, and let them basically rot for
Oh,
3
no.
weeks. Yeah. They let them rot for like 3 weeks and then dig them back up and eat them. Yeah, that's some crazy shit, I know.
Can you order that stuff?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, well,
It's fermented seal fin.
yeah, I don't know. That didn't even. Mm-mm.
Evidently, when you open it up, the smell's like you better open it outside.
Maybe if they want to see me puke.
Yeah, you're supposed to open it like outside because it's so fucking.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
But so, I guess we'll initially start with President Biden found
Yeah.
out he got
Prostate.
prostate cancer, and it's
It's
very,
metastasized to his bones.
yeah. So our question is, and and by far, are we Democrat or liberal or whatever, however you want to say it? But he's a human.
Yeah, it don't make no never mind how you feel about him. Your heart can go out to him.
Absolutely. That's how'd they not catch something like that? How do you not catch something like that?
Now, we talked about this earlier today, and I swear to God, if I don't care who you are, if you know you got cancer, especially prostate cancer, which is one of the easiest ones to catch and cure, and because I don't know the stages, I just know what I heard on Good Morning America. In Good Morning America, Al Roker they were talking about him being in stage 9, and Al Roker was in early stage 8 when they caught his, and they were able to cure his. But because his is metastasized to his bones, there's no cure to it now.
Right.
You can treat it, but you can't cure it, right?
That's
so,
right.
As older men, you get a physical every year, right? I was telling him, my cousin Larry's 74, he gets one every 3 months. And I swear somebody had to know and just didn't fucking tell him.
Is that another cover-up?
Well, I believe if he would have known, just like any man, if he'd have known, he'd have fixed it.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
Yeah, why wouldn't you know? And being that he was the fucking president, I mean, surely he goes through rigorous medical stuff each year, right?
Right. That's right. The president of the United States should.
You want him to be in peak health, or as peak health as he can be.
They should do every test known to man to make sure he's healthy.
Yeah.
Especially during his years of being in office.
Yeah. I mean, we know FDR wasn't in very good health right at the end. He was in a wheelchair and everything else, but he knew about it. I mean, it didn't,
Yeah, that's right. So prayers to the Biden family.
Yep.
And any family that may be dealing with something like that's just that's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard on any family.
It's hard when
don't
you
care who
get
you
a
are.
result of ain't nothing we can do for you.
That's right. We'll try to keep you comfortable.
Yeah, basically.
And then, moving on to, probably another favorite of everybody's, George Wendt, who was on Cheers.
Norm.
Norm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed away. And I watched that. I pretty much watched that show because of him. When I watched
I love Ted Danziger. I loved all of them.
They were all good, but he was hilarious.
Woody
to me.
Harrelson. Oh my God.
Yeah, Woody was pretty funny.
Yeah. But I did look up. It didn't say what he died from, but he had been battling cardiac problems, and it did say he died peacefully in his sleep.
So that's good.
That's how my daddy passed.
If you're gonna pass, that's the way you'd want to go. You don't want to go in pain or screaming or anything like that.
My mama died 2 months before my daddy passed, and daddy went to sleep that Saturday night and didn't wake up.
Yeah, that's always tough. But prayers for his family as well.
Yep.
So we're gonna circle back around and we're gonna have a little UFO discussion again.
You got that right. Now I want to know if there's anybody out there that watches us in Arizona. Because because all this shit about this new report came out, and I've read it on Newsbreak, and I read it on New York Times. So, I kind of got to believe it, right?
Right.
And but evidently above the Arizona desert, where the U.S. Air Force has a base at, they were, doing maneuvers up in the air, right, like F-16s do.
Right.
And all of a sudden, there was several orange orbs that started dancing around them, right? And one of these orange orbs struck and damaged one of the F-16s. It struck the bubble, and they had to land it for a while. It didn't strike it to where it quit or nothing, but they had to land it and everything.
What happened to the bubble?
They didn't say. Yeah, but so, and these guys are flying at like 20,000 feet, 22,000 feet, doing these maneuvers. And I looked it up, and residential are limited to 400 feet, and commercial, military, and all that have a range of about 10,000 feet.
Right.
And so you got a drone that's doubling that. What the average range of even a military drone. What the fuck is it? And if y'all have seen them, I'd love to see a picture of them. Or hear your story.
Of the what? The orbs?
The orbs.
Oh, yeah.
New York Post said that there's people that are claiming that it could be from the cartel. That the cartel have enough money.
I read that too.
That the cartel have enough money to design and build things that even the U.S. government doesn't. Yeah, I know.
That's kind of far-fetched. Cartels don't have research division.
I don't know. They have fucking.
Well, I mean, they can build tunnels and they can, but that's.
I mean, do you see the fucking tunnel with the train tracks and the motorcycle and everything?
Yeah, but I mean, that's not an orb flying in through the air.
That's engineering.
I just don't think they can do that.
You don't think that?
Do I think China or Russia has some capabilities of doing that? Do I think the USA
Russia?
has?
No.
Does the USA?
Sure.
I think they do. And they're going to say that. They could be saying that because they could be up there testing that with the FC, whatever they ran into. And it was a training exercise, basically accident. But they're not going to say that because, like we talked about earlier, that one time that triangle black thing that flew over. I mean, I've seen the same thing. You can't see it. You can't hear it. If it wouldn't have had a light on blinking, I would have never saw it. And that was just, didn't hear it either. And it was probably only about 800 feet to 1,000 foot above me. So for not being able to hear it that close, that's scary. And it was moving really slow too. So I feel like that. I hate to, they were testing it, seeing what they could.
But there's all kinds of shit out there we can't explain.
Yeah.
I mean, they showed this. It was released from the U.S. government, right?
Right.
And it was a pilot flying in an F-16 trying to capture in his radar a damn.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the son of a bitch he said it was only like 6 or 8 inches above the water, above the ocean.
Right.
And these things go in and out of the fucking water. And it's flying at speeds that he can barely keep up with. I mean, shit out there we don't know nothing about. I mean, I ain't saying it's aliens, but it probably is.
I don't know.
I mean, you got to think about it, right?
I don't necessarily believe in aliens, UFOs.
You cannot tell me. You can't sit there and tell me. Now, I believe in God and Jesus, and I believe we were created in His image, and everything else, blah. But you cannot sit there and tell me that we are the only living creatures in this fucking universe. That would be more miraculous than us being.
Well, I think if there was
evolution,
there would have been a mention of them in the Bible.
It is.
Where?
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Yeah, but
plural.
No.
Yes.
Google that.
Yeah. That's right in Genesis.
I think it said heaven and earth.
I bet it says plural.
I don't think so.
Don't let there be dead time. No dead space. No dead space. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
No dead time. Banana. No dead time. I don't know. What do you guys think out there? Leave us a comment down below. And do you believe in aliens? Do you believe in a UFO or anything like that? Because
You never know.
Heavens, plural.
in the earth.
Yeah, this earth.
Yeah.
But he created the heavens, plural.
Well, you could take it however you want to. That one thing doesn't mean there's other life out there.
We've already
No,
found
no.
life out there, man.
No.
It's microscopic life, but yeah, it came off an astronaut. I've
Yeah,
got
okay.
now.
Well, I guess the microscopic things that are out there have got spaceships and flying to the earth. I don't know.
I'm just saying, how expansive is the universe?
I know it is, but
And as expansive as the universe is, you think
if there are other beings
you
in
think
the
you're the
universe,
only being? I mean, we to send light to the other, to not our universe, but to another universe, right? It takes like forever. I don't know how long it takes, but it's like forever, right? So for unless you can create a wormhole effect for a life form to come from another universe to this universe, it would be forever.
yeah.
Well, probably more than what the fucking Earth.
Well, I tell you what, you guys out there, leave us
Years.
a comment. Do you think Rob's right, or do you think there's other beings? Do you think? Yeah, I understand there's unexplained phenomena, but do I believe there's other beings? I don't personally think there's other beings.
So you think you're
In
the
the
center of the
universe.
universe?
I don't know. I'm not the center of the universe.
Well, us as humans, I should say.
I think that we were created in God's image, just like
Yeah.
the Bible said.
I
But
think the other beings
those
are.
other ones are not created in
We
His image.
we are not. We were originally. No, let's take that back. Adam and Eve were created in God's image, not us. Because Adam and Eve didn't even have skin when they were created. They put on flesh. When they sinned, they put on flesh. There were beings that wouldn't ever die. They didn't know pain. They didn't know any of that shit. They didn't know death. But when they sinned, they put on flesh. And the earth was cursed. The ground was cursed.
So what were they? Just something floating around?
I think they were celestial beings of some sort. Not talking about they were fucking aliens, but they were beings that couldn't die. Probably beings of light, if I would have had to guess.
Tell us what you think.
Whatever your soul is, right? When you die and your soul goes to wherever you believe it goes, right?
So if that's a being like that, how would they have taken a bite of the apple? How would Eve have took a bite of the apple?
I don't think we can think of it.
It's not an apple. The
Fruit of knowledge. We have no idea what it is.
right.
But to take a bite of the fruit of knowledge, right? We can't, if they're walking in Eden with God and the devil at that time, right? Because the serpent. We can't think of things in concepts that we can imagine them. I don't believe. I don't believe we can imagine the Garden of Eden. I don't believe we can imagine what Adam and Eve were. We can't possibly imagine what God looks like. You know, he told Moses, I can't show you my face, but surely you would die.
Well, doesn't it say that man was created in God's image?
It says that we were created in God's image.
That's right.
We if you believe that Adam and Eve were the original people, right? Then they were originally.
Well, I don't think they. I
don't have to read Genesis. So,
I mean, everybody's got their own theories, and I get it, but that's this. I've always been taught through
your Baptist faith.
my years, yeah.
I mean, I'm not knocking that.
Not knocking it, but Adam and Eve, man and woman, and the serpent, I guess tricked Eve, whatever, into taking a bite from the fruit from the tree of knowledge that was forbidden.
That's correct.
Now at that time, I don't necessarily think that their forms changed, because Eve would not have changed. If that's the case, Eve would have changed, because. And I have to check on my Bible
All right,
knowledge, because
let me
I can't
ask you a
remember.
quick
But
question.
did Adam partake of that?
Yes, Eve gave him the apple.
But did he know
Or
what
the
it
fruit of
was?
knowledge.
Did she
She-
deceive him?
She deceived him, and she was cursed with childbirth
Okay.
because of her deception.
So,
But so
and I know we've got some Bible people out there
But-
listening. So tell us what you think.
where do you think Cain come from?
You know, there's a lot of things that
Because Cain isn't mentioned until they put on flesh,
well, I know.
right? So
Cain, I don't.
that's a lot of
Cain
discussion.
and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of even though the Bible is the Word of God, there's still, as a human, you don't understand some parts of it, right?
Yeah.
And we're not trying to get into
Because it was up
biblical-
until the Bible of the Tower of Babel, right? That people like Adam and Eve, brother and sister, would have had kids to populate the earth, right? Because there wasn't that many
well,
people.
they weren't brother and sister.
Well, you hear me out though. But I'm not talking about other Cain and Abel and all those other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
That had kids up into the Tower of Babel, right?
Well, I guess one of my questions has always been like when the brother left Adam and Eve and took a wife. Well, where did she come from?
Well, that's what I'm saying. These people were also created, I believe, when Adam and Eve were put on flesh.
Yeah.
Right? I believe God created other people because it was Adam's job to rule over the dominion of the earth. That's what I was going back
Well,
to.
Here's my other deep question, right?
And now that he's going to
And-
die, it has to be other people to help him.
And it's something that I've always debated, you know, because heaven, God, heaven, angels, there's no sin in heaven. There's no sin in heaven. So, you know, Lucifer thought he took a bunch of angels with him because he thought he was better than God. God cast him out. But if there's no
he didn't
sin,
take them with him. They went with him.
I know,
Okay.
but wrong choice of words.
You can't think of angels as humans either.
Well, I know you
Okay.
can't, but there was no sin in heaven. So where did that sin, of his thought pattern of that sin, come from? And I know people say, well, they have their free choice. They have freedom of, you know, they can do. But if there's no sin, how does that mindset take place? Because that was a sin. But we're not trying to get into
That was a
theological
rebellion against
discussion here.
God. And these are creatures that we can't even imagine either.
Well, I know. I
And
agree.
if you think about the devil as having horns and red and looking like a delayed, no, not laid on this t-shirt, but, you know, the devil is supposed to be beautiful. One of the most beautiful angels. He was called the Morning Star. And he was supposed to be one of the most beautiful angels there ever was. Looking at him was looking at a sunrise.
Well, that's a debate. We could talk about that a lot. We're not going to bore you guys with it. Not trying to bore you. It might be interesting to you. If it is, leave a comment. Tell us what you think about the whole thing.
Yeah, 'cause I
but-
don't believe in eternal hell either, so we can get into that. That's good.
I do.
I don't think the Bible. Let me say that again.
Anyway.
I don't think the Bible teaches an eternal hell.
Well, I do.
Okay.
But so we're gonna change
Shift gears.
shift gears a little bit here. We're gonna go to our Universal Yum Box
Oh,
with some and I got to go get my drink because I don't know what this is gonna be like.
Now, to be fair, folks, we didn't pull this shit out and looked at it, and we're only going to try the stuff that we haven't tried. And one of them says cumin, and I'm not a big fan of cumin, but whatever. And I'm not going to do dead time. Sorry, I spit the chewing back out there. I had to hold on that. But waiting for Brian.
No dead space. No dead space.
And I'm trying to talk about that spit chewing back out.
No dead space. Sing a song.
Sing us a song. Oh my God.
Alright, so this is what we haven't tried. Oh my God.
Sing us a song.
Those things is what we haven't.
Things or what we haven't tried right now. And the first one, this is, I'm going to pull it out. We ain't pulling a piece of paper out and all that shit. This looks like chips, but it did say on the back that it had cumin in it. And cumin is what you would put in most of your chili.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not a big fan of the flavor of cumin, though.
So it could be spicy?
No, it's not spicy like that. It's just cumin is a specific flavor that most people put in their pots of chili to give it that real chili taste. But, I mean, I like a little bit of it, but...
Oh, I don't have my trash can here. Oh.
That is dry as a motherfucker. God, that is not good.
It's not good. It doesn't have no flavor. It tastes like chalk.
It it tastes like an uncooked chip. Not it. Leave it in the fryer long enough. Yep, no. Be careful of that shit.
That's not good.
The next one was black
what
pepper.
we going to rate that one?
Zero.
Zero?
Zero. A black pepper chip.
That might be interesting.
All right. All right. Now, it looks like,
It's like cheese.
you know,
Not cheese.
potato
sauce.
sticks.
Potato sticks.
Hey, now, pretty good, right?
That's not bad.
It does taste like black pepper, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So I buy them.
It's not bad. I kind of like that. Actually.
Yeah, I'd buy them at the store.
It doesn't have that weird aftertaste to it either.
No, but it is very strong black pepper.
Yeah, that's what I got choked on.
But I love black pepper, so. Now you did all right there, Indians, Pakistanis. I said you did all right there, Indians, red dots.
What is it? Got this?
Yeah, that's the last thing.
Is that the only other thing that
Yeah.
was different? Almond cookies.
Y'all did a good job with that.
What? So the potato sticks, what we can get in? 8?
Hey, I get that, man. I buy that at the store. It's your 5-year-old natural. Nordic. Nordic means black. I know that.
Huh?
Nordic means black. I know that.
Oh.
Well, that's loud. And it's
Killing my ears.
not MSG. What's it called? GMS, something like that. AMG. That's the AMG sound. But that was already broke. I'm going to get that half broken there. Another shortbread cookie.
That's decent.
Not sweet good. That'd be better with some peanut butter on it.
Some of that Dubai peanut butter.
No, just smash some regular peanut butter on it. It's a
Not
shortbread.
bad. If you're desperate for a snack or something, it's not bad.
Not too sweet.
I still got some of that pepper in my mouth though. Not too sweet. Okay.
Not far in the middle in there.
14 grams of carbohydrate,
I can believe that.
6 grams of sugar.
Hey, Brian. What's green, red, and goes 1,000 miles per hour? You can tell this to your boys.
Oh, this is the clean one?
Yeah.
Okay, what?
A frog in a blender.
When I'm eating.
They can tell that when it's school.
Maybe. They might see it as being hostile and
Oh, good Lord, shit.
hurt somebody's feelings.
Hurt my feelings. Be like the military and put your card up.
He kills frogs.
Yeah, they all do when they get to high school.
Well, I know. Well, they're already dead.
And pigs.
Huh?
And pigs.
And pigs.
We did fetal pigs.
I think I did.
We did worms, frogs, and a fetal pig.
So, on a quick note, I'm just going to say she abandoned her dog.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Well,
Rachel knows what that's for. Sorry.
we need a wellness check.
Oh, yeah. Need a wellness check on a couple things.
Well, shit happens sometimes.
I know it does.
Buddy, goop, child, mother.
Just saw the mailman come through. Mail lady, excuse me.
Have you seen? I know this is off our thing, we're not talking about. But have you seen the new Universal Park at Disney
No.
in Florida? It's called Epic Universal. I don't know what it's called, but it's got Mario Land. It's got the Harry Potter. It's got.
I've heard.
It's got the monsters like Dracula and shit in one section,
Hmm.
and it's got How to Train Your Dragon in another section. They talk about it as fucking unbelievable.
Right.
The animatronics and all that shit. And when they, I was watching on USA Today, and they were filming from there. And when they went into Mario Land, you know the question mark blocks.
Right.
So you get a thing that you wear, a glove, and if you jump and hit one, you can collect coins.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's kind of cool.
yeah.
That is cool. A quick shout out for our sponsor, Carolina Security Innovations. Yeah. Positive there, Rob.
Thanks to Jersey Mike's for feeding us today when we had to pay for it, though.
I know, right? And Rapid Radios for giving us these radios.
They didn't give a shit. We had to pay for them, too.
Hey, it's still on. That's good. Battery's still going.
They didn't give it to us. We had to pay for it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. We said for giving us to us.
Battery's low, though.
They worked well, by the way. He was in Virginia Beach,
Virginia Beach.
and I was down at the house here in Johnson County, and I was sitting there on my easy chair watching the TV, and I hear, "Beep, hello!" I'm like, what the fuck? I was just back on the counter, in the kitchen. And I said, I think it was the goddamn radios. I went over and I said, hello?
It's a UFO.
And he says, is this Rob? I'm like, well, who else is it going to be?
Well, it did sound like you normally, because you're like,
Well, I didn't know who the fuck.
You're lit up.
I
You're
didn't
like,
know.
hello.
Because Rachel's got one and your daddy's got one, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know who it was when. Cause
But
I
I had it directly.
just I heard the noise.
Yeah.
So if it was your mom and daddy, I didn't want to be like, who the fuck is this motherfucker?
Well, last time I saw Dad's, it was sitting on the counter unplugged, and same thing with Rachel. I said something to Rachel about hers. She's like, I don't know, I got to find it. I'm like, a lot of good that's going to do, but it's all good.
She can't have that too much stuff in her house, but they would have found a radio. Ought to be like in a drawer. Right here it is.
Yeah, I know. Remind me to tell you something when we're out, but
Okay.
I can't say it right here. But
Bentley got it under the bed somewhere. Come on, Grandpa, can
I
you
know,
hear me?
right? Yeah, I mean, that'd be fine. That'd be all right.
Let him do it. I'll pick mine up and say, I can hear you, motherfucker.
No, that would not be good. That would not go good. What? Anything else happened to you interesting this week? You go fishing or anything?
No, I didn't go. But I told you about my lawnmower.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Was that the spindle?
Christopher was out there cutting grass, and he got about, I don't know, maybe half the yard finished, maybe a little more than half.
Yeah.
And I heard it. What the fuck is that? I walk outside, and he's still cutting grass, and somebody's going, I just shut it off. I said, what the hell is that noise? He said, I don't know. It did it one time and stopped, and then it just started back up. Well, the spindle that holds the blade, turn top of the wheel, the bottom part of it, I got a picture somewhere else. I think I sent it to you.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened, but the goddamn aluminum looked like it melted, so I had to order me another one. Causing it to wobble like that, and it was what was happening where the bolts, the bottom of the bolts,
Yeah.
when that thing was wobbling like this, the blade was hitting those bolts, making that blah 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 noise.
Yeah. Well, I'll send that to Rachel. She can put it in there. Picture of it. It looked like it got chewed up, spit
That
out.
motherfucker looked like it melted.
everything else. Yeah, I went up to Virginia Beach to help a buddy with some electrical stuff that he had going on, and ended up we found it's an old receptacle, right? But I took the receptacle off, and the neutral was burning.
Scorched.
It was scorched.
That's how you had too much amperage on it then.
And
That's what a neutral does, is throw back the amp.
It was loose. That
can do too, but
that cable was corroded right there where it was, and it was punched in.
Yeah.
Instead of
most
wrapped
of
around
them
the
are.
screws.
If they're 14 gauge, most every house is punched in.
Yeah, I know. I don't do that. Personally, I don't do that.
If it's 12 gauge, you can't do it, but 14 gauge standard outlet, like in your living room.
Well, I mean, if it's a 20 amp receptacle, you can.
No, 20 amp is for 12 gauge. 15 amp is for 14
That's what I'm
gauge.
saying.
Okay.
If 20 amp, you could do that with a
You don't-
20 amp receptacle rated.
Yeah.
You could do that.
It's not 20 amp rated, probably. It's probably 15 amp rated. Every electrician is trying to save $1.
Okay, follow me here.
Okay.
If it was a 20 amp receptacle with 12 gauge wire,
Okay,
it
then
would punch into the back.
you shouldn't be punching them into the
You
back.
shouldn't, but
Was it
I've
in the
seen
dining
them.
room or kitchen?
It was in the garage,
Okay.
and it was on a pump, and
Was it on a GFI?
it is now.
Okay.
So we changed that out. Then I was changing another one in another part, right inside the door of the garage, and I touched it, and the lights flickered. So that neutral had burned up on it, and so I'm like, what in the freak?
So when was this house built?
60s.
Yeah. Since the 90s, maybe early 2000s, on like your bedroom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You have to put everything either on an arc fault outlet or arc fault breaker.
That's right.
Not GFCI, but the arc fault.
That's right.
And that if it had been on the arc fault, that would have prevented that neutral from doing that.
I had to do that in my other house for the bedroom.
Because the neutral is what brings back the load.
Yep.
And on your arc fault, that's what it's looking for, is that spark.
That's right. So he's running a water pump. I think it was 14 amp rated. So it's just under that.
On 20 amp breaker?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just got to be at 85%. Yeah, that's fine.
So that's one of the reasons I put a GFI there, because if it fluctuated any, it would pop that
Well, GFI is only good for water. You want to put the arc.
GFCI.
Yeah, GFCI is for water. Arc fault is for an arc.
Okay, but a GFI, if that wire starts heating up, it trips.
Sometimes.
Mine has all the time.
Okay.
For hair dryers and everything else. I've had plenty happen. So
GFCI, ground fault protection, ground fault interrupted protection circuit. Anyway, go ahead.
I did let
This
you
is
work too.
Too much goddamn knowledge.
But anyway, so that's everything I have right now.
I believe that's a good wrap up, right, John?
So that being said,
Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and whatever else is there, smash.
but like I said, leave us some comments on your thoughts on some of the stuff that we talked about today, and let's see.
We're gonna sign off like this. That sounds really weird. I'll see